You want to wake up every day and you want to go balls to the wall. You want to be lifting all this heavy weight every single day. Welcome back to Strength Journal, where we make fitness simple and easy to understand for the majority of people. Now, if you haven't already, please do make sure to head over to my YouTube homepage, where you will be able to click on the link and pick up your free at-home and gym workout guide designed specifically for people who want to get into training. It is the foundation to get into training properly. And with that being said, we're going to jump into the topic of today's video. Now, today's video is going to dive into a concept that I've talked about before, but I never really explored it too intricately. But it is a very important concept, and that's recovery, and why recovery is so important. And I'm also going to pivot into talking about why social media is so dangerous to people who are ignorant to training properly, and how it could potentially contradict your fitness goals. So let's start with this. Between TikTok, Instagram, all these short form dopamine hits, there's this sort of romanticization of overtraining culture. And overtraining culture is essentially like just promoting overtraining, promoting pushing the body beyond its limits, right? And to an extent, you should push the body beyond its limits. You should train to failure. But a lot of the time, what people who are beginning training and don't really know how the body works fail to understand is that, yes, you should be pushing to failure to effectively stimulate muscle growth. But when you push to failure in the absence of proper rest and recovery, what you're actually doing is quite the opposite, because you're not going to achieve the results you want. You're more likely going to get injured. And that's just being realistic, right? So I actually pulled up two studies that I'm going to reference here. And because, I like to support my arguments with facts. And it's a study by PubMed, and it basically talks about how proper muscle recovery and muscle regeneration can take up to 6 days after heavy training. Now, that doesn't really align with this romanticization of overtraining, right? Because within these videos that get you super pumped up, the idea is that you want to wake up every day and you want to go balls to the wall. You want to be lifting all this heavy weight every single day. And the problem with this is that people actually attempt this, and I know this because I've done it myself. When I first started training, I was quite literally doing this myself, and long story short, I actually did get injured. I actually did sustain a back injury, and then I really had to slow down, and I really had to figure out how to properly train. And that's when I started doing more research and figuring out what is it that I'm doing wrong here, right? Because within all of this romanticization, you kind of get this misconception that more is better, right? The more training you do, the better results you get. And that couldn't be farther from the truth. Because yes, training a lot is great, but once again, if you have no rest, all muscle growth happens when you're resting. So if you have no rest, how are you going to grow muscle, right? Training is you breaking down the muscles. So if you break down the muscles, logically speaking, on your next workout, let's say you do arms, and then you go and you try to hit arms again, and you're gonna be sore, and your performance is gonna be shitty, and it's because of the fact that your arms haven't recovered. So how are you really gonna progress? You have to acknowledge the fact that while training is great and training a lot sounds good, your body cannot continue to progress. Your body cannot continue to grow unless you give it time to grow. There's another study that I want to reference, and this study was done by the Journal of Strength and Conditioning, and it has to do with hormones. Now, testosterone is one of the most important muscle-building hormones when it comes to actually building muscle for men. And we found that overtraining actually kills your hormones and stalls growth. So what it does is it increases your stress hormone, cortisol, and it actually leads to a temporary decrease in your levels of testosterone. And this is absolutely terrible, because you're doing the exact opposite of what you set out to do, right? You're overtraining, and you're doing the exact opposite of what you set out to do. You're putting all of this work in because you want to see the results, but you're actually pushing for the opposite. So it's very contradictory. You have to understand that more does not equal better results. You have to train strategically. So I will encourage you to check out some of my other videos. But with this being said, I do hope that you do consider your own workout programs, or if you're someone trying to get into working out, please do check out the workout guides that I offer for free, because I do have recovery in there, and we talk about recovery a little bit within the guide and how it is essential to muscle growth. So yeah, please do check that out. But just, it's important that within your own training, you have days to recover. You give your body time to recover. And with that being said, please do be here for next week's video by making sure that you like and subscribe and turn on notifications. And I'll see you again soon.